Gisela Perl, also known as the Angel of Auschwitz, saved hundreds of pregnant women from a terrible fate. Born in Hungary to religious parents, Gisela was very academic from childhood. She graduated first in her class and became a gynecologist at a time when female doctors were very rare. She married and had 2 children prior to her 1944 deportation to Auschwitz. She was taken there with her entire family, though she managed to hide her daughter, Gabriela. In Auschwitz, she was made to assist the sadistic Dr. Mengele. Very quickly, she learned he was experimenting on pregnant women. In a 1982 interview with the New York Times, she spoke candidly about what she did in Auschwitz.
Dr. Mengele told me that it was my duty to report every pregnant woman to him. He said that they would go to another camp for better nutrition, even for milk. So women began to run directly to him, telling him, "I am pregnant." I learned that they were all taken to the research block to be used as guinea pigs, and then 2 lives would be thrown into the crematorium. I decided that never again would there be a pregnant woman in Auschwitz.
On the cold, dirty floors of the women's barracks, almost always at night, Gisela would terminate the women's pregnancies to save them from an even worse fate. In addition to saving pregnant women, she was one of a few doctors and nurses chosen to operate a hospital block. They were given inadequate resources when they received any, and they tended to seriously ill patients in filthy conditions. One Auschwitz survivor who was treated at the hospital block said it reminded her of Psalm 23, the Valley of the Shadow of Death. Gisela sometimes had to perform surgeries, and did so without anesthesia. The procedures she performed in secret on pregnant women were likewise done without any medication. She said in the same New York Times article,
I treated patients with my voice, telling them beautiful stories, telling them that one day we would have birthdays again, that one day we would sing again.
She was transferred to Bergen-Belsen and delivered a baby in the camp just as British troops arrived. She fell into a deep despair when that fall, she learned her husband and son had passed. She attempted to take her own life. In 1947, she moved to New York and was one of the first survivors to write and publish her story. She worked at Mount Sinai Hospital, where she delivered over 3,000 babies. She became a well-known expert in infertility. Many of her patients were fellow survivors. She eventually reunited with her daughter, who survived by hiding with a non-Jewish family. The pair moved to Israel in the 1970s. Gisela passed there in 1988.